Hi, this is Karen from CardioGolf, and this is my new training tool. It's called the CardioGolf Fit Wedge. They come in packs of 2, and I'm going to show you how I use it to help people improve their chipping. So first, let's talk about where people go wrong when they're chipping. And I'm just using this little lie board that shows where I strike the ball on the ground compared to the ball. So where I see people go wrong when they chip is because they want to help the ball up in the air, they set their weight too far back and they try to help the ball up in the air. So you can see if you do that, you strike too far behind the ball. So this little circle represents where the ball would be, and then you can see my strike was too far behind. Ideally with chipping, you want to have a narrow stance. The ball is played in the center or slightly back, depending on the height of your chip shot, and the handle is slightly forward of the ball. Now from here, all the weight stays on that front side, and the club needs to work a little bit up and then down to strike the ball and then take a divot afterwards. So you can see how this looks different. The ball was here and then the divot was afterwards because I was giving it a downward descending blow, and that's what helps the ball get up in the air. So this is where the Fit Wedge is going to come in to help you improve your setup and the way you strike your chip shots. So what I like to do is place the Fit Wedge under the back foot. So you can see what that does is that angles my weight towards the target. So when I set up, the majority of my weight is on my front foot. This setup with the ball in the middle and the hand slightly forward, my weight on the front side helps get the club up and then come down with a downward descending blow. If I didn't have this under my foot, I would be level or even a little bit back, and the club would go back too low, and then I would have to try to scoop it up on the way through. And that's the opposite of what you want to do. You want to have your weight over your front foot. So this is a really good exercise to wedge that foot under the Fit Wedge, and then that helps you feel your weight on your front foot to give that downward descending blow. You can see when I finish, my weight finishes on this side, not back over here with pressure on the back foot. So this is a great way to practice. Wedge that under your back foot and keep your weight on your front side. Now that you have your setup correct, then you can actually put this wedge behind the club head. So you can see I've just put it about 2 club heads behind where the ball would be. My weight is forward, and now with this angle of the Fit Wedge, you can clearly see how the club needs to work up to down. You don't want to go back low like this. You would hit this, and this is made of some sturdy foam, so it's not going to injure you. And then on the way down, you don't want to go through low because then you would hit this on the way through. So this angle is going to help you learn how to deliver the club to the ball. If you're pretty sure you're not going to hit the Fit Wedge, place that ball 2 club heads behind, give yourself a little bit of leeway, and then practice hitting some shots. And you're going to have a really crisp chipping shot where you catch the ball first and the ball rolls up the club face, gets a little bit of backspin, so when it lands on the green, it's soft and controlled, not rolling out too far. So this is a great way to practice. This is basically a mini impact position, so this is going to help you become a better iron player as well. If you really struggle with that setup and the angle of attack, you can even put one foot on the wedge and then have the other one behind your ball. And now you can really see how the club needs to work up and then a gentle downward descending blow. You're hitting the ball first, and if there's a divot, the divot's afterwards. If you go back too low, you've got pressure now back here. You're going to hit this on the way back and then hit it on the way through. And that's when you actually end up either chunking it or catching the ball on the up, and the ball rolls uncontrollably over to the other side of the green. Another way to use the fit wedge is just by using it as an alignment tool. So you put the club face square up to the edge right here and then get into your stance. And you can see I'm relatively square. I'm not trying to open up like this. I'm just doing a little tiny chipping shot. And now from here, I can clearly see the path needs to pretty much go straight back and straight through. Where I see people go wrong with chipping is they take that club too low and inside on the way back. And you don't need to take it outside either. So it's a very short shot. It's relatively straight back and straight through. So this is a great way for you to see the path and how simple the chipping motion is. Another way to use both wedges is to create yourself a little bit of alley towards your target so you can clearly see the path goes relatively straight back and straight through for chipping. Where you don't want to do is go inside and then over the top. So if you just align this, give yourself a little bit of leeway, you should be able to chip down your target line. I see a lot of disconnection with people chipping as they're very handsy or armsy like this. They're not really using their body or their core. So you can take this fit wedge, it's just made out of some sturdy foam, and put it under your armpits like this. And now you can see that the club and the arms form a nice Y position, and then that Y just pendulums straight back and straight through. There's not this movement, or you don't want this to fly out and go out from underneath you. So you can actually do lots of little practice swings like this and learn that arm-body connection. You can even chip shuns like that. So try some of these exercises to help you improve your chipping with that fit wedge. This fit wedge will give you a really nice image of how the club works up and works down to strike the ball turf afterwards. You don't want to go back low and then try to hit up on it. You can get your fit wedge at CardioGolf.com.